Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'd like to show you how you can make your own simple yet effective, really useful fishing line spooling device such as this one. You can clamp this into a vise, it's nice and sturdy, and then you can go ahead and take the line off of a spool onto the spool of your fishing reel. So I started off with a few scrap bits of wood. And for this I'm going to use an old piece of threaded bolt, some nuts, some washers and some wing nuts. I started off by measuring the first piece and that was about 12 centimeters in length. I could then mark that with the speed square. I'm going to be cutting this on the miter saw. Now I just want to make a point where the threaded bolt's going to go in. So I'm just marking up a square section and then I'll draw a cross in it to find the center, and I'll drill that out later on. Now I can get these pieces cut on the miter saw. And the bottom piece is roughly the same size as the top piece. Now I need to cut a piece to go on the bottom, which will allow me to clamp this inside a vise, and that is the same length as the bottom piece, so all three pieces are the same length, and it will go on like this. Now I can drill out that area so that I can add the threaded rod or bolt later on. Now I can attach the two pieces together. I'm just going to drill down two pilot holes here. And then add two screws, and later on I do countersink these screws so that they don't interfere when I put it in the vise later on. I'm just going to add a bit of glue as well. Now to add that bottom piece, glue again, and I'm going to add 3 screws here, just to make it nice and secure. On this top section I just want to round it over, so I've just got the top of a jar to use as a template, and then I can cut this out with the jigsaw. Once that was done, I could give everything a nice sanding down and just smooth over all of the edges, and this will prevent any splintering or chips later on. So for the finish I decided to just give it a coat of black spray paint. I had a little bit of this left in the can, and it's nice and quick and easy to do. Now I need to add all the hardware. This is just an offcut of bolt. It just needs to be long enough so that you can get a bulk spool attached on this end. So I could add a nut and a washer to either side to lock the bolt in place. Now I can add the wing nuts. I'm using the wing nuts because when you want to adjust it, it just makes everything easier, and you don't need a spanner, you can do it with your fingers. Now I can get this clamped up in the vise and show it working. So you can add all different sizes of spool to this. You can add bulk spools or standard spools as long as the bolt is long enough. Those two washers just help to keep it on there. And then you can add that wing nut. And now I'm going to add some line to the spool of one of my reels. I took it slow at first, but after a while you get used to it and you can go much faster. Okay, so as you can see, I've just used the device to fill up the spool on this new reel of mine, and it did a pretty good job. Takes a bit of getting used to with the speed and things, but it clamps up in the vise really well, doesn't move at all, and it costs practically nothing to make. Makes your life easier when you want to put some line on your fishing spool. Okay, so that is about it for this video. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. It was just a bit of scrap wood, a little bit of threaded rod and a couple of washers and wing nuts, and it's very effective. It clamps up in the vise nice and tight. If you don't have a vise, you could always not add this bottom part, and then you could use some kind of like a squeeze clamp to clamp it to a desk. And I'll be using this from now on to add line to my fishing spools. So if you found this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more fishing and DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.